Hi, welcome to another episode of the Sovereign CEO podcast. I am Carla Joy Treadway, and today we're going to talk to you about starting an online business. So, if you've been on the fence for a while, if you've been thinking about this is going to be the episode for you. Now, before we dive into the topic that I want to bring you, specifically low cost, low risk business ideas that you can jump on today, I want to tell you a little bit about the why I'm so passionate about the online business world. So if you're new here, I have been a serial entrepreneur for over 12 plus years. I've had every kind of business under the sun: network marketing businesses, affiliate partners. We have a construction company. I have Airbnb rentals. I had a yoga studio. I've had a coaching business now for 8 plus years. And I've worked with pretty much every single entrepreneur possible: artists, therapists, doctors, you name it, I've probably worked with them. So I became really passionate about specifically the online space when I lost my business during COVID. My brick and mortar yoga studio is probably my favorite business that you could possibly imagine. I got to be healthy and move my body all the time. It involved community building. I got to travel a lot. I got to teach on stages. I was running yoga teacher trainings. It was really fun. It was really fulfilling, and it was really sad when I had to close that business. And I was shocked. I thought building my own business was my road to freedom. And I had no idea that I would be so vulnerable from the government when it came to lockdown. So ever since, I've been super passionate about focusing on the online space. When I closed my studio, we moved to what was supposed to just be our summer cabin full time. So we packed up our family, we moved to our cabin full time. We live on a cool little island here in Northwestern Ontario, and I get to work from home. And I've 10x my income, 10x my impact. I have a ton of fun doing the work that I'm doing now. I have way more freedom, way more flexibility, and that's my why. And, we live in uncertain times. And this industry, specifically like information, online education, coaching, it's not going to slow down. In fact, the information industry, the online coaching industry, it is now raking in about $1 billion, check this, a day. So it's not slowing down. And it's also never been easier to start up a business. It's never been easier. The old days of needing to know coding in order to start this thing, it's done. Tech is easy and cheap. You can hire people to help you, super cheap on something like Fiverr, or sky's the moon what you can pay or offload in your business. But the point is, it's easy, it's available, it's growing. I think you should do it, especially now. So entrepreneurs see uncertainty as possibility. They see more problems out there that need to be solved. And yes, it is a good time to start your online business. Today, I want to share with you 7 examples. So 7 of the best low risk, low cost online businesses that you could start up in 2025. Cool? Okay. So the first one is a content creator with digital products. So I guess you could say I'm a content creator. I have this podcast. We got the YouTube channel. I have a big following on social media. I make a lot of content. There's lots of ways to monetize that. You can monetize it with brands or affiliate marketing. But first, let's start off by just talking about digital products. So to get started doing something like this, you're only looking at $0 to $500. I say 0 because you can literally just use Instagram. It's free. I guess your phone costs money, but you probably have a phone anyways. When I say $500, maybe you get a better mic setup. Maybe you get like a Canva account. Maybe you get an email platform like Flowdesk or MailChimp. You don't need a $2,000 website. You don't need a team. You don't need any of that. So the barrier to entry on this one is super low. You just need a phone and you need a niche. That's it. So how are content creators making money with digital products? Think online courses. So a course can be, a skill that you've mastered, a business skill, an art skill, a health skill. So it can be a skill. It could be your life experience. Maybe you went through trauma. Maybe you went through divorce. Maybe you've healed your gut issues. Maybe you're experiencing relationship issues, or you've been on a journey to become a better parent. Any of those would be personal story transformations, lifestyle transformations. You can monetize any of that as a coach or in an online course format. And then, of course, there's just those things that you're passionate about. Maybe you're super passionate about making videos like this one. Maybe you're super passionate about art or growing food. Any of these three categories: skills, passions, or what was that last one that I said? Skills, passion, story, transformation. Yes, those three things. Anything in those three buckets is game. It's prime for an online course. You need to make sure that you're selling something that you have results in. If you have results in something, you can turn that into a digital product. You can, of course, also monetize things like templates or resources. So I have a really ADHD brain, for example. We use things like Notion in our business. We could easily sell the templates that we've made in Notion to my audience. Now, if you have been doing content creation for a while, you can also monetize the fact that people know you, that people like you. So maybe you get affiliate links, maybe you use ads to generate revenue. So you can get ad revenue from things like a podcast if you already have the audience, or on YouTube, for example, you can monetize just the amount of people that are watching your channel, consuming your content. And then, of course, there's low ticket memberships. I have helped people create all kinds of memberships. We've had clients that have been unschoolers, health coaches, stylists. Again, it's those same three buckets: skills, passions, and your personal transformations. You can put those into any format. It's just really what floats your boat. How do you want to deliver it? Do you want to charge low ticket or high ticket? That's a conversation for another podcast. Lots of examples. So here's a great example. My client, Chelsea, you can find her on YouTube, Little Mountain Ranch. She's a fantastic creator. She's a homesteader, growing, canning, farming, all of those things. And she's built up a huge audience on YouTube, creating that kind of content and educating her audience on how to live this homesteading kind of life. And, she's monetized a membership and a cookbook, and her entire business model really is just around content. Why I love this business model, if you are someone that likes creating content, is you can create products that are one and done, evergreen. It's going to live there forever, which is really, really scalable. Think the online course, or I like to think of YouTube as sort of an evergreen thing. As long as you're not making polarized content that might get you deleted. But a lot of these products, digital downloads, you can create once and be done forever. But, I find a lot of creators like to keep creating things. They don't want to stop. So if that's you, you're going to love creating a coaching business or a membership, because you're going to have to keep filling that with new stuff. Okay. So that was number one: $0 to $500 setup, like really nothing. Number two on my list is a coaching business or consulting. So the startup costs, same thing here, under $100. Maybe you have a Calendly link so people can book appointments with you. You need a Zoom account, and you need a way for people to pay you. So I use Stripe and Kajabi in my business. There's other options. You can literally get people to e-transfer you, I guess, but I like doing something a little more professional, like Stripe. The barrier to entry, I'll say low to high. And I'm going to say that because you just need a skill. You just need to be 10% ahead of someone to be 100% in service to them. You just need a method, a process that can get people results that doesn't necessarily require a certification or a training. Now, where I sit on education, training, which you can pay a lot for as a coach or a consultant, there are people that are highly credentialed and they're terrible coaches and consultants. On the flip side, there's people that are highly educated, and because of that, they are excellent coaches or consultants. The same is true on the other side, people that haven't formally paid for education. You just want to find someone that is in integrity with their work. They are devoted to always learning and growing and mastering their craft. And probably a good way to suss that out is, try their free thing, try their low ticket product, dip your toes in the water, maybe do discovery call with someone. Start there to make sure that they are in integrity with their work. How do people make money in the coaching industry? Some people sell online courses, some people do group programs, masterminds, VIP days, or one-to-one offers. I've helped hundreds of people through my low and high ticket offers. Lately, we've just been focusing on really one signature offer, but it's a simple business. You can make it complicated. You could do a podcast like me. You could do a membership and a mastermind and a one-to-one business, or you can just keep it really simple, meeting people on Zoom. It can be that simple. Why this works, why this is low risk. I mean, there's no need for inventory. There's no need for a team. You're monetizing your mind and results for your clients. That's it. Number 3, affiliate marketing. So startup costs, same, free to $200. Maybe you need a domain, a simple site, a landing page, an email. The barrier to entry is low, especially if you've already kind of built up a personal brand. You've already been making content for a while. How do people make money in this niche? They're earning anywhere from 10 to 50% in commission on digital and physical products. So, for example, Cody Sanchez, she's a creator that I really like. She made over $100,000 in affiliate income in her first year just by promoting tools that she's already using. There's huge passive income potential here. And you don't have to build the product. You don't need the team. You just need to create content around it and have sales skills. If you hate selling, if you hate content creation, this probably isn't for you. But for the vast amount of people, this is a pretty easy business model to take advantage of. Number 4, ghostwriting or copywriting. And I know what you're thinking already, but what about AI, Carla? Isn't it going to take over? Yes and no. It's going to take over writing for some people, but I just did a whole video actually just on this. We're going to still need creators. We're going to need human beings. You're going to need people that can think and write, including you. The startup cost to being a ghostwriter or copywriter is low. Again, it could be high if you seek out professional education and certifications, but really we're just looking at a landing place where people can see your work, a website maybe, LinkedIn channel, maybe everything just on social media, an email list to keep in contact with potential leads and clients. The barrier to entry is medium because you need to have a skill here. You need to have a skill. You can learn it. You got to be good at writing, at messaging, and positioning. So how do people make money as a ghostwriter or a copywriter? You charge per piece of writing. Some people charge for a certain amount of words. They create retainers or packages. For example, maybe you pay a ghostwriter $5,000 to $10,000 a month so they can actually finish your book for you. Some people hire copywriters to write their sales pages. Some copywriters do social media posts. There's little bits of writing and huge pieces of writing on the table. And this is work that a lot of people aren't expertly skilled at. If you are a naturally talented writer or you have some education around it, there is lots of business available in this niche. The demand for content is exploding. Content is the only form of marketing, in my opinion. And as awesome as AI is, it's never going to replace human tone and nuance, at least yet. Number 5. UGC or user generated content for brands. Startup cost under $300. You might want to think about upgrading your phone, getting a ring light or a better microphone so that the content's a little bit better. You don't need a big following to make user generated content for brands. You might think that, but you don't. Brands will pay $200 to $1,000 plus per video for organic style content that they can run as ads. I bet you've never even heard of this one. So there are new creators popping up on platforms like Fiverr all the time, and they're getting booked out without any audience whatsoever. You just need to know how to make content, how to show up on video, and how to promote other people's products. Cool, huh? Number 6, an educational membership or online community. Startup is low. You can look at apps like Circle or Discord or Substack or School is a big one. They're about $100 a month. The barrier entry is low. It's going to be easier if you have a big audience. I'll tell you that. Why? Well, you need people. You need people to make a community. You need people to make a membership. So if you don't have an audience, if you haven't been producing content for a while, I probably wouldn't start with this option. But if you have a decent amount of people following you, and I'm not talking about 50K, I'm talking about maybe like 5,000 people, like you want like at least 100 people in your membership or community, this could be a really good option for you. What would you charge for something like this? Well, the bigger the transformation, the more you can charge. Little transformation, little bits of money. You want a transformation of some sort. Your community can't just be a nice to have. Maybe in the beginning when these things first started popping up, but people have a lot of content now, right? So what you want to do is find a niche audience, a niche problem that you can solve, and curate your community to that person. The Sovereign CEO Academy, for example, this is helping new awake entrepreneurs develop their product, their brand and content strategy, learn how to market in under 2 months. So a very niche yet broad audience. I would say broad because we have all kinds of business builders, online business builders in there, but niche because I'm speaking to my awake crowd out there. This works because it's low cost for the customer. If you do your job right, it's high value and it's recurring revenue, passive income. Community creates stickiness, right? So there's value, not just because you, the creator, are serving value in there. The real value of a community, this is what you want to focus on, is the community nurturing each other. So if this is something that is piquing your interest, what I want you to think about is how do you engage community members? How do you inspire them to interact with one another? How can you highlight your members? This is what makes a membership community thrive. Number 7, digital products on things like Etsy or Notion. So if you're a creator, but you don't really like having like your face on camera, you kind of like being behind the scenes, you might think about creating downloadable digital products. So think templates, trackers, bundles, banners, anything that, a business or a creator might use in their processes, things like behind the scenes. People make money in this industry anywhere from like $10 to $200 per download. Some people, like, I don't know if you ever heard of the template goddess, they're pulling in 6 figures selling Notion templates alone. The best part about this business model is it's very much passive in that design once and you can sell this thing forever. So this business model would be great for introverts, for creatives who love low maintenance sales. So here's the thing, guys. These aren't side hustle trends. These are actual businesses that people are scaling to 6 and 7 figures. And this is just 7 examples. Sky's the limit of what you could create in the online space. What they all have in common, the things that we talked about today, are these are all low cost options. They all have high profit margins. If you build it seriously like a business, you got to treat it seriously. And they are all built on skills that you already have, or you could easily go and learn for free. So if you're watching this, if you are listening to the podcast, and if you've been stuck in indecision, I want you to ask, which of these models would I actually enjoy doing? And what do I have a skill in? And who would I like to help? These are the things that are really motivating, right? Clarity creates action. Action creates momentum. Momentum creates speed in your business. What I would encourage you to do is don't sit on the fence. If you've been thinking about this for a while, dive on in, because we are out here building $1 million online businesses. It's never been easier to grow a business. And if you want to create more freedom, it's literally right there. You have these tools right in your hands if you want to build, and it's not going to cost you a bunch of money to start this thing up. If you want help choosing the right business model and building the right profitable offer for you, join my free community, The Vault. This is where I help you clarify your niche, your content, your business model. You can find the link in the description of this video, of this podcast. And again, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all of the things if you want more no fluff business breakdowns that help you build something that actually works in this wild world that we're living in. If you want freedom, it's time to build. Thanks for watching this video. Thanks for listening to the podcast at home, and I'll see you for another one here soon.